Hello group, it's me, Joe. How you doing tonight? It's Thursday, and so happy to be back with you today. It's had another great day at the farm show, so selling to farmers and their wives and significant others and girlfriends. So it really is a good experience to get out of my own way and get into a different group that I'm not normally in front of. So again, what group are you in front of? Anyway, I want to keep going tonight about sales tips. And I know a lot of us struggle sometimes with selling. And so I went on and I did some research tonight, and just to try to find some different tactics that work. And it all kind of resonates around the same thing. I know last night I talked about different statistics, like 92% of all customer interactions happen over the phone. It takes 8 cold calls to get a lead. Best time to call people is between 4 to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. 80% of sales requires 5 follow-up phone calls after the sale. So, and Thursday is the best day to call. Did you know that? And then Wednesday is the second best day to call. So I suppose with Thursday, people are starting to get ready for the weekend. Maybe they're a little bit more relaxed and they're ready to maybe make a sale. So did some other things. I found this top 10 sales tips by this Tom Savaki and the New York Times blog post. So what we all have to do is we all have to become our own chief convincing officer. So you have to be convinced about the product that you want to sell. And I get it. Sometimes it's hard to do, and you want to get all the information right before you go ahead and sell it. But the thing you have to do, and the foremost thing, is be convinced yourself. If you're convinced, then your customers will be convinced and your prospects. And the more strong you sound about it and the more convincing you are, the better off you're going to be at selling it. So number one, you have to convince yourself that it's a good product and you want to go sell it. Okay? Number two, be clear and direct. So when pitching, don't use a complicated method. Just pride yourself on being clear and direct with your customer, and just let them know that you totally believe in this product or service, whatever it is you have, and that it works. If you believe in it, you take pride in it, be clear and direct with it, it works. And so your customer is going to believe that. So just know that, and just go out there and be great with it. And remembering, pressure is an art. You don't always want to pressure people, because what you're going to do is you're going to turn them off and you're going to make them angry. So this guy says creating FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt in your client's mind can be a good thing, because it will lead to serious consideration of your concept. But you don't want to overdo it, which is kind of hard. I know there's that fine line between, putting that fear out there. You want to solve their problem. What problem do they have that you need to go solve? That's what you need to tell them. And if you can give them that answer, they're going to buy from you. So remember, be convinced about what you want, be clear and direct, but also just know that you're solving them a problem. So, hey Troy, how you doing? And then know your client. I've talked about this many times. We've talked about niching your market. If you don't know what niche means, it just means honing in on exactly what you want. We also call that an avatar. Who's your avatar? Who is that perfect client you're going after? Are they single? Are they married? Are they widowed? Are they employed full time? Do they work at home? Do they, maybe they have a family, maybe they don't. Those type of things you have to niche down so you can find your ideal client. And you have to keep going with that, because that's what works. And then also, it's all about the presentation. Do you have your 30-second elevator speech ready to go? What if somebody was out on the street and asked you what you do for a living? Are you ready to tell them? I know I am. I can tell mine without a problem. Can you tell yours? Because you have to have that 30-second elevator speech ready to go. Because if you don't, you're going to stumble through. And it's hard, and I would practice in front of a mirror, maybe practice in front of your video, on your phone, something that you practice. So the fact that you have that down concrete, practice your 30-second elevator speech. So it's all about the presentation. So once you got their attention, then give them the presentation and make it clear and concise and direct to them, so they're ready for you. Be passionate and exciting. People love that. They get like in tune to you because they're going to thrive off your passionate and your excitedness. And so they're going to do that. And the more lively you are, the more lively they're going to be. So just know that, just be passionate and excited. And then also, if you don't know the answer, don't guess. Just tell them you're going to go find out what the answer is. If you can Google it right there on your phone, Google it. If you can't, then go find the answer that they're looking for, write it down so you don't forget it, and tell them, you know what? I'm sorry, I don't know that answer. That's a great question, but I'll go find that answer for you, and I'll get back to you. And I'll get back to you within 24 hours. Then get back to them within 24 hours or whatever time frame you told them you get back to them. But get back to them. Because if you don't, you might lose them as a potential client. And that's the one thing you don't want. If you already have them asking you questions, that means they're interested. If they don't ask questions, they're usually not interested. If they're asking you questions, they're interested. It might still be kind of in the back of their mind, so you're still going to have to drip on them or keep, well, I call it dripping, but you just keep cold calling them or just keep going after them. Remember, it takes like about 8 times to do it. So I call it dripping, other people call it other things, but you just have to keep on them until they finally hire you or buy their product, buy your product or service. Remember, when they're asking you questions, remember to answer them directly and clearly. So don't beat around the bush, just tell them what's what. If you're asked a question, you give a politician answer. In other words, you're not going to answer their question. And they're going to kind of step away from you, and maybe the more you're talking, the more they're going to step away, and all of a sudden you're going to see them walk away. You don't want that. You don't want them to walk away. You want them to stay around. You want them to ask you more questions. And try to observe their body language. And then ask for the sale. We learned this from a guy today who is selling tools and other things at the show, and he's good. He was fun to watch. Because what he did is he asked for the sale, and then he shut up. That's all he did. He asked for the sale. He told him a little bit about the product. He asked for the sale, and then he shut up. And he's good. He sold a lot of product today. And he was one happy man at the end of the day. Yesterday, not so happy. Because nobody bought from him. Because there wasn't a lot of people there. Today, happy man. And he sold a lot of product. So, remember, talk to them, answer their questions, ask for the sale, and shut up. And then remember, you can always be better. And you're always going to have competition. So just know that if you get too lax in your profession, there's always going to be somebody coming up after you and wanting to go above you. So always be out there learning more, taking more classes, learning as much as you can about whatever product or service you have, so you can go out there and you can keep on top of your game. All right? Well, that's what I have for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We're back at the farm show tomorrow. One more day, and that will be day number 3. People are buying the book. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I've had a couple of people say they're coming back tomorrow. Hope they do. If not, I'll be prospecting other people that walk by. So you guys have a great night, always and ever. Thank you so much for being part of this group. I appreciate all of you. You guys take care. God bless.